Hello and welcome to some Hardline Beta. I picked this up a while back, not too long ago, with some special keys, like when they announced it. We're going to go into a game of Heist, I think this is. It's got a nice little load-up screen. It's not the same old bland shit we usually see with the terribly drawn out and pixelated music that we've seen in every other Battlefield game since... High Tension. It's the only map that is on the beta right now. There isn't anything else. I'm hoping and looking forward to seeing what other maps they can add into the game to add kind of variety, because at the minute the map is just really like a city location. It's not really like a huge amount of variety. I think a major idea I could have at the beginning of the game, they should have civilians or maybe like cars like driving away as we move in, because it feels a bit desolate at the minute, like it's just some kind of wasteland of a city. 2 load-up screens again, like it has been since 3. Load it once, then you have to load it up again. We're going into the load-up screen here. The menus are quite nicely laid out, although they do look a bit cheap looking, since it's kind of, the menus and especially the HUD are a very reskinned Battlefield 4. Like, I'm gonna hop into an SUV, or a car I think this is. The driving works pretty well. They fixed the collision issues to a degree. It still feels a little bit glitchy when you're going at high speeds, like how that rail just glitched into the windshield. They could do a lot to fix it. I just think they haven't really been doing a lot with it. It's still better than Battlefield 4, and that's always a better thing, because Battlefield 4 had a lot of problems. Let's go straight in here with Heist. The idea of this is mainly for the criminals to blow up the doors to A and B, and then the police have to come in and take the packages and bring them to safety, and the criminals have to bring them to certain points. Sometimes though, especially with blood money, it feels more like criminals versus criminals rather than cops versus like actual criminals, because it's with blood money, it's the cops have to bring the money to the vault and the criminals have to bring the money to the vault as well, and there's no real difference. I think they should really like change it up so you know who you're playing as, and like make it so there's an actual difference between the two. The guns handle quite well. I think the recoil is a bit mental at the minute, like especially with a gamepad. With a mouse, it's not too much of a problem. When you're playing with a controller with aim assist, it can dodge you up a bit and send the gun flying into the sky, shooting something that's like 50 meters in the air. The revive pin it works well, although I don't think it has the same kind of feel as defibs, because with defibs, you know you're reviving somebody and they weren't overpowered, and I think you've already heard of the survivalist. The survivalist is basically where you can revive yourself when you die. It completely defeats the purpose of teamwork, and you can just literally wait until someone has walked past you, then revive yourself. Completely ruins it. It creates some funny moments, but generally it just ruins the idea of having a medic on the team if you can literally just revive yourself. The jump and clipping issues in this game still feel a bit off. Like sometimes you'll jam your foot onto a random rock on the ground and you'll be jumping into the air, trying to struggle to get out. It still has that kind of Frostbite slow feel to it, although it is a lot faster. You do sprint faster. It's got verticality as well to it, which is nice. You know, you don't have to climb up 6 different sets of stairs to get somewhere. There's always a different way to get to a location. There has been a lot of, you do get run over a lot in this. It sometimes feels a bit more like Need for Speed than the Battlefield game. You get charged down, ran. It's like everyone in this game is roadkill, apparently to everyone. The vehicle, the helicopters, since there's no jets in this game, you won't get any more jihads. You won't see any more like fucking Operation Terrorist attacks from jets flying around the sky. No more annoying AC-130s, no more commanders spamming out UAVs like they're an airport in the sky. It feels nice and balanced. The helicopters especially, they do fly a bit slowish, and when they crash there's still a bit like they're just flying giant rubber balls and they bounce off buildings. The sniping, the bullet travel time in this game does feel a bit slower than something like Battlefield 3 or Bad Company 2, where the bullet time was fast. and the M9 as well. Another thing that's got the classes as well. They do feel like there is a difference, especially a visual difference. The character models do need to be fixed. Currently in the beta, they look exactly the same from a distance. It's hard to tell the difference between a medic and an engineer, so you know what you're going to get shot in the face by if you move up to that person. At the minute, not a lot of people are playing the objective. They fixed the idea of having to jump in front of a support 10 or so times, screaming his name like, I need ammo, over and over again, like you're at a concert. Now you just walk up to him and press a single use button to get ammo, although that also, I think, defeats the purpose of team play, especially just making it kind of more encouraging for people to just go lone wolf, especially if they can just get their own med packs, don't need to dish anything out. You don't need to really be that tactical with it. So we're going up here onto the objective. Between the different balancing, like with the teams and stuff, they don't feel too... The criminals don't feel more overpowered than the cops, and the cops don't feel more overpowered than the criminals. It's a nice balance. There's no exclusive guns like there was in Battlefield 3, where you have to get the AK-47U for like the Russian team. You can't get that for the Americans, because all anyone wanted to be in that game was American, so they could use the M16A3 if they hadn't unlocked everything. I can't see anything insanely OP. They added the grappling hook as well, which is quite nice. Adding this, you can get up to higher buildings without having to like find some glitchy way of getting up there, or ramming a jet into the side of the building or something. And the grappling hook lets you get down places faster without using 20-odd parachutes, or like blowing the entire military's money on nothing but parachutes for your whole team. Like you've got parachutes coming out of your ass this time. You don't have that. You have nice grappling hooks. They added some kooky weapons. The gas grenades are too weak. There's no real incentive to use them at all. You use them, they do like... Kind of reminds you of Black Ops, where you have the Nova gas. These do very little damage, and the gas mask doesn't really do anything, because the gas doesn't do any damage anyway. They added the, what's it again? The revive pin as well. As I said, it was different. To kill people with defibs in an old game. No, it's quite odd to say that defibs are OP, but this pin, you can go crazy with it. This is Levolution as well. Obviously, we've seen this in every single, well, since Battlefield 4 anyway. There is frame drops, still not as bad as Siege of Shanghai, where you can get like massive frame drops all the way down to like 10 FPS sometimes on last gen consoles. It's not that bad. It looks nice, it feels nice, it does change quite a bit. I want to see what they're going to do with it though, because especially cops versus criminals, you don't usually get situations where you're having massive Levolution events in a city or anything. The snipers, there's only one bolt action. I hope they have more bolt action rifles in their full game, because I prefer those to spammy DMRs that make me blind with suppression effect. Secondaries don't seem too overpowered. They're definitely better than they were in Battlefield 3, where they all felt like pea shooters, most of them, if they weren't like the Magnum. Bullet drop, over distance, it feels exactly the same as Battlefield 3 and 4. It didn't really change much there. Another thing in this game is the interrogation system, where if you go behind somebody and knock them down, like say if you're going for the knife, basically, if you had a baseball bat or a police baton, you just take them to the ground and handcuff them, and it shows the enemy's position for 15 seconds if you interrogate that person on the ground. It's okay, but I think they need to tweak it. It's too overpowered, especially if you're running around from behind, knocking everybody out with baseball bats. And you can just know where the position is. A UAV, yeah, here it is. See, this guy captures. Oh, also this gameplay isn't recorded by me. It's recorded by a friend. I'll link his channel in the description, so you can all guys go and see him if you would like to. Going back to this, you can see the mechanic and the enforcer. As I said, the menus, and you probably will notice, but the kills and the way it shows up on your screen and the squad menus, it does resemble a lot of Battlefield 4. Hopefully they change that in the full game, because if this is standalone, I'd rather this not look like a DLC rather than... I know it's not DLC, it feels different, it plays different, it looks different. The guns definitely do play and shoot differently as well. The playstyles in the game, like you could, Battlefield 4, it was kind of all over the place. A big subject I think everyone's been waiting for is the netcode. The netcode in this, because it didn't have the patch fix and it runs off the old Battlefield 4 engine, is still very bad. And you'll notice it straight from the beginning. We're coming up to near to the end of the video anyway, but I hope you've liked the gameplay. It's been my first video on this channel, but I hope you stick around. I'll most likely upload some more Battlefield as time goes on, but bye.